Hello. So far in this video series, we have seen many things, and the very first thing which we did was we created shared drives. So our intention was to replace our old SAN with the new SAN. So what are shared drives we had initially on the old SAN? So three drives basically. So exact three drives we created on new SAN. Basically, it's not a SAN, actual SAN. Hypothetically, just assume that it's just a separate location, and we created new three shared drives over there: data 02, log 02, and quorum 02. Right, once we created those shared drives over here on domain controller or this node, we configured them on remaining two nodes, node 1 and node 2. And again, node 1 is a primary node and node 2 is a secondary. I mean, if this node goes down, whatever shared drives and SQL instance which we have configured on this node 1 will fail over to node 2. After that, we saw how can we move HR database or user database MDF and LDF files. And once we did that, we also saw how can we move MDF and LDF files of system databases other than master. Now for master database as well, the procedure is exact same, except there is a small difference. So we'll see that. So in this video, we'll see how can we move MDF and LDF files of master database. So what I will do, let's first identify where our physical path of our master database MDF and LDF files are. So same query. So as you can see here, so except master database, remaining all databases are now on our new location, or SAN2 you can say. Now let's follow the same steps as of now, and we'll see what all challenges we observe. So I will first modify the path. So again, our aim is to move everything into Y and Z drive only. So I will not modify this. So basically I will be moving our master MDF and master log LDF file, and these are logical names, master log and master, and this is a database name. So I will just execute this same, and again, as we have seen earlier as well, the new path will be used the next time when the database is started. So what we did for this, we just shut down the service first, moved the files. We'll follow the exact steps. I'll go to SQL Server Configuration Manager. I'll stop the service, move the files, and I will try to start the service, and we'll see what happens. So I will stop the service. Let's move the files now. I'll open another Windows File Explorer. Perfect. And let's go to G drive. Not here. This path. Okay. And under data, master. So this is a MDF file, and it will go to Y. Perfect. And I will move LDF file as well. Perfect. Okay. Now let's try to start the service and we'll see. I don't need this. I will simply close it. It should have got started, but it won't start. There is a reason. It will error out ultimately. So it hung. Okay, it got hang. So I will simply close it. Let me go to Task Manager. Okay, I just close that window. Now even if I try to restart this, it will not connect because it's not coming up. See. So ideally, whenever we did same steps for other system databases or even for HR databases, it all worked fine. But for master databases, it is failing. So that's why I'm saying like there is a little difference. Now, thing is, how can we identify why it's not coming out? So there has to be some error logs where we can see the error, what's happening. So how can we do that? So let's again try to connect to SQL Server Configuration Manager. I hope I will be able to connect to it now. See, it's failing. It's not connecting through SSMS. not able to open SQL Server Configuration Manager as well. It should give out to open, otherwise we can't do anything. It will open. Let me close this also. Okay, finally it got open now. Let me close this. Just I'm stopping all the services. I think still some service might be running, or let me try one more time. It will come up eventually, just taking more time. Let me check in services. So I will bring this, stop this service. I will stop this service also. Okay. Let me pause the video till the time it comes up. Alright, so it took a while, but finally it came up. So as you can see here, I cannot start the service. It stopped. Everything is in stop state. Even if I try to restart, it will not happen. It will fail. It will again hang up. So how can we identify the error? So that's the first problem. So just right click on that, click on properties. And if you go to startup parameters tab, over here you will find the error log file. Okay, so just copy this path. Remember, we just modified MDF and LDF file. We haven't touched this one. Okay, let's identify first why it's erroring out, why it's not able to start it, and error log is the file. Let me open this guy. Perfect. So as you can see here, registering startup parameters. So logging to SQL Server, the account is this. This is informational message. No user action is required. So one thing we have seen is, see, we haven't changed this path. So it is still utilizing the SQL Server service. It's still utilizing the old path for error log because we did not modify this one. Okay, after that, it is still not an error. It's just a logs. It's showing an error over here. So what it says is, let me word wrap it. So what it says is error 2, the system cannot identify the file specified. Occurred while opening this. It is still trying to open master.mdf file under G directory. Now why is that? Even though we modified that, we executed this statement. Still it is pointing to or referring to the old file. Now why is that? To obtain configuration information at startup. An invalid startup option. So this is the important line. It's invalid startup option might have caused the error. So that means it is referring to this startup parameter which we just saw. These, and we haven't modified these parameters. So we'll change this. So what I will do, I will simply change this. So this is for MDF file. So basically what we are doing, we are moving MDF file to Y directory, log files to Z directory, and similarly the error log also will move that to Z directory. So I will simply copy this guy, update, error log, update, and finally update. Perfect. Apply. Again, it says it will not take effect until you restart the service. That's fine. Click OK. And now let's try to restart it. Start it. I mean, anyway, it stopped. I hope it will start this time. Did I move the files? Yes, I did. It should start. I don't know why it is still failing. Let me check the error. So let me go to Z drive. I should see I don't see the error logs. Have I specified it correctly? Or have I given any space before that? Let me check that. No, there is no space. ZMS SQL log. So that's correct. ZMS SQL log. Somehow it is still not starting. Have I missed anything? Parameter, bring the service online, change the startup. Yeah, I changed it correctly. Let me check SQL Server service. Yeah, it says it's running. Okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's running. Perfect. So it just took some time, but it's running. So let me restart it. It just took little more time, but it worked successfully. Perfect. And let me start remaining services as well. I think I don't have enough resources available on this VM just because of that. And perfect. Recover, let's say, and let me start these services as well. Start. Perfect. So all services. I don't know why this is not required, but that's okay. We don't need this. So if I go here, perfect. So as you can see here, all MDF and LDF, for all databases now the MDF and LDF files are pointing to our new location or SAN number 2. One last thing which is still pending is we have to change the default location. So if I go to, okay, now if you go to database setting, whenever you create a database from SSMS, from when you are doing that from script, obviously you'll have to specify the MDF and LDF file path. But when you do that from SSMS, by default, it points to this. Okay, so we have to change this location as well. So what I will do, so again, it is looking for this backup folder. This backup folder is not available. So what I will do, let's go and let me create it over here. And let's check the permission security. Yeah, it does have. Okay, perfect. And so what I will do, let me copy this guy. Backup folder path I will keep like this. Okay, now for log it's again same. Perfect. And for data drive I will point that to Y. Perfect. Click OK. So done. So basically we changed default parameters for SSMS, as well as we moved MDF and LDF files for master database as well. Along with that, we also changed, and we saw the need to change this startup parameter, because without changing this you can't bring your master database online. Okay, and also the error log, the importance of error log. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and in next video there are still some stuff which is remaining. For example, SQL log file that we changed, agent out file, that also we'll see, modifying the quorum drive and other dependencies. So we'll see those things in next video. So thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next video.